Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Okay, now Eric, now don't tell me about what you did last Friday again, because that we're recording and I don't want you to get arrested. So this is we should be better at this.
Listen, she didn't look like no cop. That's all I gotta say. That's how I'll leave that. She didn't look like a cop.
She also looked like a him.
Yeah. Hey, I like mustaches.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, all right. Hi, man. How's it going? Hey, by the way, let's get this right off the front. We should be better at this.
I was trying, but you interrupted me so rudely.
I know. But I'm just so excited when I remember to actually, say who we are.
Say what we're actually here for.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm Chris Donovan. Go to thisisfunner.com. Check out all the other podcasts up there and stuff while you're up there and you're listening to the show. And we wanted to jump into what we're going to talk about first.
Oh, there's just sometimes commercials like either piss me off or aggravate me. And
Yeah.
So I think let's do a little love-hate commercial edition.
Then I just hate you, and I hate your ass face.
I hate you, Ron Burgundy. I hate you.
No, I don't hate Balboa, but I pity the fool.
Would it interest you to know how much I hate you, Johnny? I hate you so much that I would destroy myself to take you down with me.
I love that intro.
I love that intro. This is the best one we have. So, okay. So what I wanted to bring up is there's a couple commercials that are really bugging me and getting under my skin for different reasons. One more for just, I think it's stupid and it makes a stupid point. The other one is mainly because I think it's directed poorly and presented poorly. We've talked about in the past these commercials that now have talking vaginas. So commercials are literally getting out of control right now. But I want to talk about this Amazon commercial with Napoleon. Go ahead and play a little bit of it and maybe even describe kind of what you're seeing when you play it.
All right, so this commercial, it's like the French.
Napoleon was born and raised to conquer.
It's like the French times. Napoleon's in charge, standing there with his hand in his jacket, sleeping in his little twin bed because he's small.
He should follow his dreams.
But he's watching Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Microphone with Prime next day delivery. Now the only thing he cared about conquering was his audience.
And everyone in the back see me? Okay, I'll stand up. He's doing jokes.
Right. Okay. So because he watched Mrs. Maisel and it inspired him to stand. Okay, great.
Inspired him to make a stage, put a sign up, get everybody around it, and then do it.
Yeah. I get what they were attempting to do. Here's some of the problems I have. Ouch. I get what they were trying to do, but here's the thing. So first of all, no, it's a misnomer that Napoleon was short. He was average height for his time. So that's always, but I get it. It's a running gag that Napoleon was short, whatever. Here's the thing. If someone is short and you're trying to give off that impression that they're short, you put him in a day bed where he's like normal size when you put it in relation to the bed. It's like this little French day bed. You should have put him in a bed that was big and made him look like a tiny person instead of putting him in a bed that's shrunk into his size, because then it gives off the wrong proportions. Then he's standing on the stage at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you're the director of this, wouldn't you put the microphone up high and tilting down at him so that he's talking up into the microphone? If you look, he's talking down into the microphone. He's also up on a stage towering over everyone. They should have given the impression that he's short. That entire time, you're like, I mean, when I see the microphone, it should be tilting down at him. That would be the proper way to convey that he's short. I have a problem with that.
How tall was he exactly?
He was 5'6" or 5'7", but at the time the average height was 5'6" to 5'7". So he was literally average height. The Napoleon is short thing was started by a biographer who didn't like Napoleon, and they started this whole Napoleon was short, but he was actually average. But that's beside the point. I get the joke. Here's something else that kind of bothers me. The people that are standing in the back that they show are all on horses. So they're up 4 feet higher and they can see him. So the joke of, hey, I should stand up because I'm so short. Everyone's on horses, Napoleon. They can see you, idiot.
That's so funny. Did you see? Okay, I'll pay you $5 in like imaginarily if you can tell me the name of the comedy club that he built.
Napoleon built a comedy club, and it would be called. I don't know. Zutalor.
Sorry, I got new sounds. No, it's Napos. Like
Napos. Oh,
like
okay.
Napoleon's.
Yes, Napos.
I put in Napo into the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I sound old. And it literally put Napo in, and it came up Napoleon.
Napo.
Oh, wait, National
Napo
Organization of Productivity and Organizations. Wait, hold on. What? National Association of Productivity and Organizing.
That seems very generic.
Is that just like, isn't that Rubbermaid? They just make containers.
That sounds like what a Chinese company would name something when they're trying to sound like an American company.
Oh my God. Anyway, keep going.
So the other thing that bothers me about the commercial is I get it. Every commercial has to be super diverse, and we have to have, one of every color of the rainbow in every commercial. But this is also like in 17 whatever or 18 whatever. I don't know my history. But how come like 5 of the generals are black guys that are standing around? Like, I'm going to go out on a limb say that Napoleon didn't have a bunch of black generals. I'm sure that they were more kept as slaves of some kind, not elevated to general form.
But in France, there's a lot of black French people, aren't there?
Yes, there are. But that's after they were imported from Africa, kind of around Napoleon's time. I'm just saying they wouldn't have risen to the rank of like generals standing in the back of Napoleon's army is my point. But yeah, I just don't like if I'm directing that commercial, I put him in a great big bed that's like a California king. You cast a really short actor, you have him put on, and he gets out of bed, he puts on his slippers. The slippers should be oversized, like he's wearing his dad's slippers. And then when he's on the comedy club, that microphone should be so high up that he has to adjust it down. Little things like that would have conveyed it properly. I think if you watch it again, the whole thing is shot. I don't like the director. Basically, I'm calling the director a little bitch. How's that? How about that?
Yeah.
How about we get that out there in the open?
The only thing I don't like is that he looks like a leprechaun at the very last scene when he's on stage.
It does look weird.
He does. He looks like a leprechaun with a bow tie. It's really odd.
They could have done different costuming at the end to still make it look like it was Napoleon, but like give him that Napoleon little sideways hat that he wore.
They should have made him Bozo the Clown. That would have been hilarious.
Dressed as Napoleon?
Yeah.
Napoleon the Clown. And he should have been like, like make him balloon animals or something. But yeah, I mean, they didn't make him short enough in the imagery that they gave off. The men are on horseback on the back. I had all kinds of problems with it. But anyways, that fine, whatever. I get it. That's just me being nitpicky. The other one I have a problem with is this new NFL commercial.
You being nitpicky is the name of your autobiography, dude.
Yes. Shit that upsets me just didn't clear the for the book jacket, so they had to change.
It's already been taken.
It's already been taken. Yes. The other one is this new NFL commercial, and I have a problem with it for a different reason. That last one was just, it's silly. I thought it was directed poorly. This other one, I just have a problem with a statement that they make in it at some point. Okay, go ahead and play some of the commercial. Good.
Let me tell you about where I'm from.
Where I'm from, the digital divide makes equality nearly impossible.
Okay, pause right there.
Pause
right there. I'm going to repeat this because these are what we call in marketing, as I learned as I do a lot of marketing. These are called weasel words because they're a bunch of words that mean nothing.
Yes.
So it's when you hear words like, I want a inclusive dialogue with synergy filled with a good process of procedure, like anything like that. Those are all a bunch of nothing words. The digital divide is, rewind a little bit and play it again and listen to the words. They literally mean nothing. The digital divide. Play it again.
When I get a job, I'll make $10,000 less than white people with the same.
Possible.
When I get a job.
I'm not good at this.
The digital divide makes equality nearly impossible.
Okay, stop. There it is. The digital divide. First of all, what is the digital divide? That's not even defined.
Go to
Makes
Starbucks.
Equality impossible. First of all, you dumb idiot, the fact that everyone could get on the internet and say anything and access anything at any time is the very definition of equality. The digital access that we all have is what creates more equality. I love the fact that Jordan Peele started off making essentially like he was making short videos, and that's how he got discovered and as a comedy guy, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? He's made some amazing stuff, and I love what Jordan Peele has done. And we were able to access it because he put it out there, and it was for everyone to see, and we could decide whether we liked it or not. That's a very definition of equality. Is we don't care if you're black or if you're Native American or whatever. Did you make something good and funny? Oh my God, I'm going to go watch it because it's hilarious or it's a really good movie or whatever. So that's the first part that I disagree with.
That's funny. You just described my entire plan for This Is Funner. Just keep throwing shit out there until somebody sees something.
Until someone sees something. Okay, keep playing a little bit more of it.
I'm from the digital divide makes equality nearly impossible.
When I get a job, I'll make $10,000 less than white people with the same skills.
Where I'm from, we overcome. And soon there will be many CEOs, CFOs, and CTOs that look like me.
The NFL scholars.
Okay, stop for a second there too. Great. Do you really know? Can you name 10 CEOs that look like you, Chris? No. No, you can't. Because guess what? No one. Are you empowered by the fact that there's a CEO out there that looks like you? No, you're not. Nothing. I don't get that one at all. But it drives me nuts that in that commercial at some point they say young African Americans have less access to the internet. And that was the problem I had the problem with. Who the hell doesn't have access to the internet right now? Everyone carries around a hand computer everywhere they go. I've literally seen homeless people using cell phones.
Well, they hand them out for free in downtown Riverside.
They do actually, yeah. But like, what is this claim? What is this claim of we don't have access to the internet? Who doesn't have access? Homeless people are going to libraries and looking up porn and jacking off in libraries.
Wow.
They have access to the internet to get porn. You're telling me, please find me like 10 people in the entire United States that don't have access to the internet, like at any point during their day, right?
That want it.
That want it. But yeah, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. Listen, the person in Montana who's in the middle of nowhere probably doesn't want it. But my point is,
my extended family.
Yeah, there you go. But who does not have the ability to get online whenever the hell they want, or with like, I don't know, minimal effort? Let's call it minimal effort. You can
even
get online.
You built a box outside your mom's house across the street to bootleg her internet across the street at your house.
People are, yeah. Oh yes, because there's no place, Chris. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's no places that exist that have Wi-Fi.
I know.
Wi-Fi is a myth created by the white
Starbucks.
man. It doesn't actually exist because all passwords are for whites only in Wi-Fi. No, it's not. You could go to a Starbucks. Every idiot nerd in like black wireframe glasses that wants to think that they're writing their new movie script is sitting in a Starbucks on the internet as we speak right now. There are 8.10 million people in a Starbucks right now pretending that they're writing something important on the internet.
And they're all wearing socks with sandals.
And they're, yes. Hey, don't knock it when it's cold, but I don't want to put shoes on. I will wear socks and sandals. Okay. And then the last thing I have to say about the commercial is, and this is more of a visual thing, but I'm sure everyone saw it because it was playing nonstop over NFL football over the past few weekends. But why is the girl just dancing like an inflatable tube man in front of a car dealership in the middle of her school? By the way, hey girl, maybe if you went inside the classroom instead of danced in the hallways like an inflatable tube man, maybe you wouldn't be so behind on your school. Maybe that.
Maybe.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Hi, I'm Al Harrington, president and CEO of Al Harrington.
Hey, the
Wacky
CEO.
Waving inflatable arm
looks like me.
Does he look like you?
He does look like me.
Thanks to a shipping error, I am now currently overstocked on wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
Okay, that's enough of that. But that
was good, and I'm glad you pulled that up. That was a good job by you.
CEO, that's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. But think about it. If you watch that commercial again, why is the girl it looks like she's on like a really bad drug trip. Like she's twisting around in the hallways of her school. It's like, what does that have to do with the equality message that you're trying to send out? I don't get that at all. But I really don't get the thing that we don't have access to the interwebs. That one bothered me.
Yeah, when I first heard this commercial, I was like, well, I know that's bullshit because I work in this industry of IT, so I know how shit works. So you're wrong 100%.
Yeah.
And I do think that maybe the CEO thing will inspire some people, but okay. I don't ever think I've inspired to be CEO before. I don't ever necessarily thought about it, but the dancing in the hallway is kind of funny. I'm playing the commercial like fast back and forth, forward and backward, just slowly, or right here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Am
like,
I right? Am I right that it looks like the wacky inflatable arm tube man?
Yeah,
it does.
She's just like at the very end, she's waving her arms like she's trying to walk like an Egyptian, but she forgot how they walked. Here, she's like doing the limbo without a stick.
Yeah,
and on this one,
tip to everyone out there. Tip to everyone out there, if you need someone else to get really popular and famous so that you feel empowered, then you have the problem is not with them or society, it's with you. Someone else being successful should have nothing to do with how you feel about yourself.
I disagree because I was waiting for another Chris to get famous. So I have Chris Pratt now. I got Chris Evans. I got Chris. Damn it, what was the other guy's name? I've got so many Chris's now that are famous in acting.
Now you can finally
Now
be famous.
I really feel empowered to be the next Chris. We got Chris Klein, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, Chris Rock.
In a way, there's almost too many Chris's, and now you might not get your chance because there's too many Chris's.
Because I'm going to go in as Chris.
No one's ever done that before.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there is Chris Cross. They'll make you jump.
Yeah, but they also don't know how to wear their pants, and one of them passed away. So that was
yeah, I heard about that. That's I guess now there's just Chris. Was it Chris or Cross?
It was Chris that died.
You want to know something else that's funny? So that was Chris Cross.
Both their names are Chris.
Ever. There's also the whitest guy ever who was a singer in the 70s named Chris Cross. Do you ever think the fans get mixed up? Like there's tickets on sale at like
oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
This weekend at the Irvine Spectrum, come see Chris Cross. And there's like some suburban white mom that's like in her 60s. It's like, I love him from the 70s. And she gets there and it's Chris Cross from the 90s.
Yes. And then maybe that's how he died. There was a riot or something at his concert. Yeah. Sorry, it's a horrible thing to say.
It is a horrible thing to say unless Travis Scott is there, and then there probably was a riot and people got killed. Anyhow.
Or it was in Los Angeles and someone did get killed.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you hear about that?
What happened?
It was the Once Upon a Time in Los Angeles concert, which had a whole bunch of bands. It was like the When We Were Young concert they just announced for alternative rock, but it was all rap. All West Coast rap and a lot of East Coast. Some dude got stabbed backstage. They had to cancel the rest of the concert.
Ouch.
It was a rapper.
Do they refund your money? That's a question. Do you get a refund?
No, the majority of the concert was over. There's only a couple more people that had to go out left. So I'm guessing the people that didn't perform are probably the happiest because they still got paid.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to get paid.
But yeah, that
was probably contractual language that said they had to get paid.
Totally. But hey, I hit you up earlier this week because I came up with a new game and I really want to play it. And I made noise for it.
Let's hear the noise.
Okay, hear the noise first. It's time to recast. It kind of sounds like a little like a
I know you got to hear the little bloop at the end, but yes, that's.
Hold on, I'll do it one more time. I'll turn it up at the end. It's time to recast. Yeah, you got to wait for that. That's how we have to do that. Okay. All right. So this is basically a game where we pick a movie from whenever, wherever, to recast the main actors in it. We could go 4, 5, 6 deep, however many we want. But right now,
I hit Debbie Does Dallas,
and
I'm recasting it with Chris's mom.
Oh my God, that's rude. Mom, if you're listening to this podcast, which I know you're not because you don't know what they are.
You know, she doesn't have access to the internet, Chris. She can't reach equity and equality.
She actually lives with my sister.
Okay.
They rent a room from my sister, my parents. Did you hear me right? Are you hearing me correctly? Anyway.
I'm hearing you correctly.
So we're going to recast the movie. And this time we picked the movie Ghostbusters, not the remake, the Afterlife, which I have not seen yet. The original OG version.
OG.
That brings us back Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Annie Potts, Rick Moranis, Ernie Hudson.
All the way from 1984.
Yes. So when I told you we were going to redo this, I said the top 4, and I was thinking the Ghostbusters, but then I thought, we should probably add a Weaver and a Rick in there.
I always want to add a Weaver and a Rick.
So we added them too. And there's no real rules to this. You could cast it however the hell you want for whatever reasons you want to, but I'll go first. And I kind of, kept the leading man. I'm going to go Bill Murray first because he was the leading man in a sense. They were all leading men.
They were all leading men, but yeah, he was the, I guess, star of the show, right?
Love story star guy. Yeah. So he was him. So I think I really like this kid from The Last Showman. He was great before that, but when I watched him in The Last Showman, it was great because I'm a huge Jackman fan too. Yeah. So I picked Zac Efron for Bill Murray, Mr. Peter Venkman.
He's got that smarmy, smart-ass attitude.
Swagger.
Yeah, and swagger. You're right. He has that kind of swagger. I think he's too good looking for that part, though.
And I thought that too. But it's,
like
now,
you can't
not
have
the
abs and play like the, you know what I mean? Like,
he can pudge it up.
He's gonna have to pudge up a little bit.
He'll pudge up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's mine for Venkman. Who'd you pick for Venkman?
Okay. So for Venkman, that's not his name, right?
Yeah, Dr. Peter Venkman.
Dr. Peter Venkman. Yeah. Okay. I went in a totally different version with this one. I was thinking totally different for just this one character, by the way.
Okay.
Why not flip it and cast this as a female character and make the love interest a male just for this one?
Okay, I like it. See, I was thinking about stuff like that too. So
I would go Melissa McCarthy.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as
pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as
can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Melissa McCarthy she was in the ladies Ghostbusters. She was in the ladies version, and I did not think the ladies version was very good at all. In fact, I only made it about halfway through and I gave up on it. But I think with given the right, if we're recasting it, that means they're remaking the exact same movie. So I think she could pull off that smarty pants, I don't give a shit mentality. She could do a little bit more pratfalls and sight gags that Bill Murray maybe couldn't do. And then you just flip it and you make the Sigourney Weaver character a male.
We'll get there in a second.
But that was just my twist. I wanted someone who could be funny. And I wanted to kind of throw a wrench in the whole dynamic of everything. So I said, why not make this one character? All the rest are males. Make this one character a female. So I went with Melissa McCarthy.
I like that. So then when we get down to the Weaver, we'll have a male character there. So
yes.
Cool. Okay. Yes. So then I'm going to go to the next one in the list. That would be Dan Aykroyd's character, Dr. Raymond Stantz, which I don't like. His name's not as popular as Spangler or Venkman.
Everyone hears Spangler and Venkman. Yeah, that's right. Well, Spangler is also, his first name was Egon, and I think that name gets repeated during the.
It does a lot
during the thing a lot. So who is your new Raymond? Who is your Dan Aykroyd replacement?
My replacement is, because I think Dan Aykroyd, he is smart in this, but he's not the smartest one. He's not the dumbest one though. Bill Murray's the dumbest one. Harold Ramis, Egon, he's the smartest one. So Dan Aykroyd's accidentally comes up with stuff, and I thought somebody that really was good at that, it was Spider-Man 3. The third Spider-Man from the movie, Andrew Garfield.
Interesting. Wow. So you're going with a much younger cast.
Yeah, I'm going with the younger cast, but I'm also, it's comparable to their ages back then too. So,
and you know what? I actually, besides him, because he is going to have to put on weight. The Zac Efron one is a perfect pick. He is going to have to schlub it up a little bit. But I think this is kind of an inspired casting on your part, because I could see that if Ghostbusters was coming out now, but it had never existed before, this is the first one with the first script and the first concept, that would be a pretty good pairing. They're similar in ages, right?
Yep.
Or at least they're close-ish, right, in ages.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of picture them being friends. Like I could picture Zac Efron and Andrew Garfield like hanging out and doing.
They went to the same college.
Oh, well, then there you go. I
You know what I mean? Like something like not in real life. I'm just saying like in general. Like they went.
Yeah, there you go. Right, like they went to the same college. They were buddies, and they started this Ghostbuster business. Right, like I could totally see that being a thing. Yeah. I was gonna go with. So remember, I have my Melissa McCarthy as my doctor. Maybe we'll call her Patricia Venkman. Is what you rename the character, and the Dan Aykroyd character, Dr. Raymond Stantz, is recast with John Hamm.
John Hamm.
So Don Draper.
I love him.
Love him. He's super good looking guy, but also can play comedy. But I think he could also play that serious scientist guy. But he's really good at comedy.
Yeah, he is very good at comedy. I've heard him on a lot of podcasts and stuff. Yeah. He's fucking great.
Yeah, so I think he would be able to do some of that. I'm a nerdy scientist guy, but I think he would also be able to, because think about it, now that you're removing Bill Murray trying to do the oozing sex scenes, you know, he's always trying to hit on everything that moves. I think you could kind of make that fall over to the John Hamm character a little bit, because Melissa McCarthy's playing it like totally different than Bill Murray did in a way. Yeah. So I would say that you would make John Hamm the kind of guy that's like always like, hey ladies, want to see what's in my pants, but then he like pulls out like the electrometer that's measuring ghosts and stuff like that. Like he can play that kind of joke really well.
You want to see my ham? Okay, so I like that. I like John Hamm. He's a great actor. He's got some range. And I'm gonna jump. We're gonna go.
Are you gonna do Egon? Are you gonna do Harold Ramis' character?
Yeah, we're gonna do Ramis's character right now, Egon. And this was one that I was like, who could pull this off? And if you watch the movie, Harold Ramis is hilarious, but they're like one-liners and they're dry. But people don't catch a lot of them. And I think that somebody that really does that for me in this world is Aziz Ansari.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I thought of that, and I'm like, he'd be perfect in that role of being like a geek that's funny, you know, and super smart and just knows everything, you know what I mean? Knows everything. So I just thought he'd fit really well in there as that character. So
I like that too. And once again, you're sticking really well with people that are the same age. So it really does seem like that they're all together, kind of coming up together. I like that. So for mine, I was going with someone really, really famous. So more famous than Melissa McCarthy, more famous than John Hamm. For Egon, I'm urging this character back into his comedy roots.
You can't pick me. You can't pick me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, there are too many Chris's out there anyways. No, I'm going to go Mr. Thomas Hanks, because think about how his face shape, he could play that kind of, you know, put some glasses on him. He could play the kind of dorky scientist, knowledgeable guy, but man, does he have the acting chops and the comedy chops to deliver because I mean, by the way, I was thinking the same thing along where you were, which is some of the great lines in the movie are actually from Egon, but you're right. You kind of like, you know, you give Aykroyd's the one acting kind of kooky and weird. Bill Murray's the one that's just oozing charm all over the screen and hitting on everything and doing the main talking. So he gets kind of lost in the background. I think Tom Hanks would draw him out to the forefront, and he's actually the big star that you cast, bigger than the other two that I had mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at John Hamm, Tom Hanks,
and
Melissa McCarthy holding plasma, what do they call them, proton packs,
yes,
and shooting ghosts.
Yes,
I like
Bill Murray might have been like perfect for that role. I think Melissa McCarthy would be better at the comedy of like the physical comedy of like, imagine her putting on the proton pack and like falling down, or
I've seen that before.
You know, there's jokes about crossing the streams, and she says, I don't know anything about that. You guys, you know, would know more about that being men. I mean, you could totally play so many things off of it, and I think that they would all be really good. But we gotta get to do you want to do Rick Moranis, who is Louis Tully, or Sigourney Weaver, who
Let's do the Weaves. Let's do the Weaves, because I think this is the one. I mean, if you're doing top four, that's top four.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
that's top four. That's
you know,
I think we're adding Rick Moranis in there because we can.
It's fun,
but it's because it's fun. But so for Sigourney Weaver, who do you got?
The Weaves. Well, I went somebody that's very versatile also, but also had worked with one of the actors that I cast before, and they had a love interest. And again, I'm going back to the same damn movie, so I must really like it. The Greatest Showman. I think Zendaya would be a great Weaver. she get
Interesting.
possessed.
Man, you are really going young and youthful on this. Should I be checking your internet search history? Are you looking at old enough girls when you look for girls?
Don't look at my internet search history because I was looking up Kegels yesterday because my wife told me what they were and I did it like an idiot and now my shit's gonna be all messed up. So I wouldn't go. I'm just kidding. If you want to hear about that, go to my other podcast. But yeah, no, I just think that she's an amazing actress. I think she's really great.
She really is good in like everything that they put her in. I mean, she really is. Like,
you watch
she's
Euphoria?
Yeah, well, I do not watch Euphoria, but my daughter loves pretty much everything that she's in. As she's a big fan. No, I think you're right. And once again, you're hitting the age ranges kind of just perfect. So here's mine. So because Melissa McCartney is the Bill Murray character, right? So we've changed the gender there. She's Patricia Venkman.
So this will be a male.
Yes, this is a male. Curveball. Here it is. You ready for this one?
Jerry O'Connell.
Sigourney Weaver character Dana Barrett is now Dave Barrett, played by Bill Murray. In a strange reverse casting, Bill Murray is the love interest that Melissa McCartney is going after.
But a younger Bill Murray.
Yes, Bill Murray.
But a younger Bill Murray, not Bill Murray.
Yeah, well, Bill Murray from 1984.
Okay, and then just Melissa McCartney from now because she's
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I don't want her when she's like 13 or 12.
Yeah, that would be not good for.
So so Bill Murray in a surprise casting is now Dan Barrett, who works for the museum and blah blah all that kind of stuff.
Curator.
Yes, the curator.
Okay, I like that. All right, so then we'll do this quick. Let's do Rick Moranis' character, which was Louis Tully, the gatekeeper.
I'm the gatekeeper.
Keymaster, or whatever he was.
Yeah.
And you know what? I picked this one, same age range. You know what? He's in a ton of movies, but I like one of my favorite movies. His character Eddie the Eagle, and I can't remember the guy's name right now. What was his name? He's that
was a good movie too.
Michael David Edwards.
Michael David Edwards. Yes, he's in a lot of those movies. He could totally play the nerd. Quirky nerd guy. Yeah.
He was in those Secret Service men, so he could do some some jumping around and stuff if he needs to. Hold on, I gotta find this guy's real name because that's not really him. Hold on. But yeah, so he's been in a lot of cool stuff. Some of the like I said, when he played the Eddie the Eagle guy, I didn't even know it was him for a little bit. So I'm gonna pick him for Rick Moranis' character as soon as I find his name.
Yeah, I have it right here. His name is Taron Egerton, who was also the one who played Elton John in the biopic, and he was also in the Kingsman.
Yeah, he was Eggsy in the Kingsman.
By the way, since you love Hugh Jackman, he was also in Eddie the Eagle.
He was the drunk instructor, my favorite guy. You know what's funny? If you think about some of the roles Hugh Jackman's been in, Real Steel, drinker. Eddie the Eagle, drinker. There's Wolverine. Oh, he's all over the place there.
Yeah.
All of his characters are like drinking.
Yeah, or have some sort of abuse substance issues. Yes.
Except for the one in Swordfish. That was just a little different. So anyway,
my Rick Moranis.
Okay, who you got?
This is the only one I'm going a little younger with. The rest of mine are obviously a little older. For Rick Moranis, I was going Andy Samberg. I had recently seen the movie Hot Rod again. Haven't seen that in a while. And I thought to myself, I think he would just like buy into that part and make that part really funny. So I went with Andy Samberg. So my cast is, just to recap, I got Melissa McCarthy, John Hamm, Tom Hanks, Bill Murray still in there as a surprise, and Andy Samberg.
Did you do Ernie? Did you do Winston?
I did not do Ernie Hudson.
Okay, think about him for a second while I do mine, because I haven't done there too. All right, so my picks right now, I have Venkman as Zac Efron. For Dr. Stantz or Dr. Raymond, Dan Aykroyd's character, I did Andrew Garfield. For Egon, Harold Ramis, I did Aziz Ansari. Sorry, I have it all written down all weird. And then for Rick Moranis, I did the Taron Egerton. Now, I did do one for Ernie or Winston, and I did Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think I could top that one because that is a pretty perfect pick for that.
Killmonger.
I was thinking more from the movie Black Panther.
He was in Black Panther.
No, but from Shoot, he's the one that I come to take my rightful home on the throne.
That's Michael B. Jordan.
That's Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. Okay, well then there you go. I was thinking the same guy. So that's funny.
He's Michael B. Jordan. He's Killmonger in
Killmonger. Yes, I was trying to think of the damn name. So we were actually thinking of the exact same actor, but I was thinking of Killmonger specifically, and you were thinking of his real name and who he really is. I was thinking of actual Killmonger.
Well, there you go. If you're listening and you want to tell us we suck, go ahead and tell us on Twitter, Chris_Donovan, or at Sinatra's Rat Crap. What's it? Is it?
Close enough. Try it. Go ahead and try that one. That's pretty good. Go ahead and send a DM to Sinatra's Rat Crap.
See what happens.
Hey, did you want to do a new segment, Tales from the Cheap?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tales from the Cheap.
All right, Eric, you want to explain this one?
Yes. I was thinking to myself, we either all, either grew up poor or, my wife and I, we got married really young and we had no money. And there's these little examples of things you used to do to get by because, you're living the cheap lifestyles, and we call it Tales from the Cheap. And I figure it's something everyone can identify with.
Tales from the Cheap.
There it is. Tales from the Cheap. All right, I'm going to go first since this is my thing.
Okay.
We used to reuse Ziploc bags. So dinner would be over, you'd pack it up into a Ziploc bag, and then the next day you would eat the leftover food because we couldn't let anything go to waste. So we would eat the leftover food, and then we had what you would use to put your bottles on, like when you have a baby, and it's like the dish rack that has the little prongs that stick up that would hold the bottles and the nipples and all that. We had one of those, but after dinner there would be plastic bags over those drying because we would wash the Ziploc bags and then let them dry so that they could be used for that night's dinner. And we would use them until the bag started to be stained from the food. Like when you could start to see the pasta sauce, like the red from the pasta sauce on the bag, then you're like, okay, it's time we use another bag. And we would be really proud with ourselves because we would buy the actual real Ziploc brand. Yes. And then make them last a long time rather than buying the cheap one. And we found that with the real Ziploc brand, we could go a little longer reusing the bags, and we could stretch like that one box of gallon size and quart size to like 2 months. We could
so at what age did you upgrade to saving all of your plastic butter containers and Cool Whip containers and all those other containers that you had food in originally, and just wash those and reuse those over as cereal bowls and stuff?
Oh, so I didn't do as those cereal bowls. Is that what you did? You would use them for
we would do the butter ones we would because they were small enough, but the rest of them you just used them for storage.
Let me guess, Country Crock butter?
Yep, Country Crock, a lot of Country Crock. No, Western Family.
Western Family. Wow, you must have been extra poor because I don't even know that brand. Yes, I would do not with cereal, but that became, when I was younger, that was common in our fridge.
Yeah, right.
Was the Country Crock, or I can't believe it's not butter.
Yep.
A container back when butter used to come in those big round containers. Now everyone gets them in a stick form. It seems. I guess they're still butter.
No, they're still there. But what about when you opened it up and it wasn't butter? You're like pissed off. You're like, damn it, I needed butter.
How many times you're like, oh, I got this delicious toast. Let me put some butter on. And you're like, oh, it's the freaking spaghetti from last night.
What the hell?
Yes. Okay, I got another tale. I got one more Tales from the Cheap on my side.
All right, what do you got?
When we were first married, we had our little place over in Chino, and we wanted to paint it, but I couldn't shell out the kind of money to buy paint and actually pick a color. So I went to the Home Depot. I mean, because that would be considered, I'm flaunting money if I do that. So I went to their returned paint section, and whatever color they had at that particular time is what we decided to paint our bathroom.
Please God, tell me it was like hot pink.
It was like, I think it was orange. Yes, I think it was orange. So it was like an orange. It looked like an orange-sicle 50/50 bar.
Nice.
And that was the paint that they had, because that paint was only like $6 for the gallon because it was returned. I couldn't pay the $25 to get the paint color that I wanted. I paid $6 to get the color that someone else was like, this isn't what I wanted, and then walked away.
I don't think it was an orange. I think it was actually it was called baby shit brown. Is actually the color, so it fits perfectly into your bathroom.
Yes, but that's why we chose that color, is because we didn't choose that color. It was like, hey, this is what they had for $6, and this is the one I brought.
Our income chose this color.
That's exactly right. This is
If
the
our-
color of our income.
Yeah, if our income was a color, it would be this off orange poopy color.
Yes, it'd be a real shitty color. Still to this day, by the way, would be a real
Mine
shitty
too.
color.
I would have to say too. Okay, I got one more, but it's a lot less complex than that. And we've talked about it before. It's where you used to call collect, and when it says say your name, you're like, "Hey, mom, pick me up. I'm over at Wolfie's."
Oh my gosh, I use that so often, and it's so funny that it took. Okay, do you think that did the phone companies know and just said, well, we'll consider that a loss, or did it take them a really long time to figure it out?
I think they knew about it, but it was probably helping kids, a lot more than it was anything else. So they probably,
I don't know. I kind of still kept doing it when I was, like even in my, I was probably 20 the last time I did that, but yeah, it's been a while,
honest,
but
though, your doctor diagnosed you with, what do they call it? Idiotism?
Cheapism.
So,
yeah.
Idiotism and non-growing upism when you were very young. So I don't think that you've ever grown up. Really.
I don't think I really have either, but no, the collect call thing, that is like, that goes on the Mount Rushmore of Tales from the Cheap, because that's got to be universal. I mean, if you put a poll out there and just say, okay, how many of you when you were younger did this? That had to be universal, because that was an easy way to save money. That was just I don't got 25 cents to call home. Like I don't walk around with quarter money on me.
Will you accept a call from, hey mom, I'll be home in half an hour?
Yeah. Mom, the movie just ended a little bit early. Can you pick me up?
Yeah. Yep. But the thing is back then they were not cell phone. There were payphones everywhere.
Yes.
Like there were 2 or 3 payphones on every corner almost. So there was access to phones because they were money makers for these stupid companies. But yeah, we used the shit out of that when we were poor. Well, I mean, still poor, but we used the shit out when I was younger.
Face it, Chris, if those are still around and cell phones didn't exist, you would still use that same technique today. If texting and like cell phones were not a thing, you would walk up and go, hey, Evelyn, what's for dinner? I don't know. I'll be seeing you in a little bit. Okay, I love you. Bye.
100%.
Yes.
I learned how to do Morse code. One of the two. All right, okay, we gotta get out of here.
The worst one was when they started using live operators, and it was, and who may I say is calling? And you're like, pick me up. It's an Irish name. Pick me up. And they're like, sir, well, you can't use a collect call that way. It's like, damn you, live operator.
I would have changed my name to Chris. I'm ready to go home.
Yes. All right. Well, that was Tales from the Cheap. An easy segment for us to do.
Hold on.
Tales from the Cheap.
There it is.
I don't think he's like cheap, like a little bird or something. Anyway.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening. Go to thisisfunner.com for all your podcasting needs. Conversate with us, Aiden's Arcade Academy, and of course, listen to this, which is my personal favorite because it's me doing it. Season 7, by the way, is going to start recording in the next week or so. So look out for season 7 coming soon, but you could always re-listen to season 6.
Nice. And Plus One Stories is up there, where I talked to some of my friends that have been in the industry for a long time, and they've gone to a party as a plus one, and they have some crazy stories. One guy was Michael Jackson's plus one, and I just spoke to someone that I'm going to play in a few weeks that threw up on a very famous person.
Wow.
This is going to be fun. So check that out. Thisisfunner.com. And until next time, we'll catch you later, guys.
See you, man.
Bye.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as
pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as
can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well, shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.